Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia host a sign language musical performance and exhibition to celebrate Tzu Chi Chapter's 20th anniversary. The urban Tzu Chi volunteers traveled to Namibia to carry out Tzu Chi's missions with local volunteers, sharing precious experiences. Tzu Chi volunteers in Fujian, China help a despair painter who lost his will to fight, clean up living environment and get back on his feet. To celebrate and gather more support to do compassionate deeds, Tzu Chi volunteers in Kita hosted an exhibition for their 20th anniversary. Among the exhibits were pictures recalling the last 20 years of good deeds, as well as an area for local residents to donate their bamboo coin banks. Let's join them.
Tzu Chi's chapter is celebrating its 20th birthday this summer.
It's not enough to do 20 years of Tzu Chi. I want to do it until my last breath.
The home visitation in 1994 began Tzu Chi's love in Kedah, and now there is a forest of compassion. The first seed volunteer has these words of wisdom.
Tzu Chi isn't just comprised of one person, it's made up of many people. Global events must be done by global volunteers.
The volunteers have especially decorated a hallway to recall the last 20 years of good deeds by Kedah Tzu Chi volunteers.
Before we came here, I thought it was easy. Chop down a few bamboo and we'd be done. It's much harder than it looks. They said it must be boiled so it won't attract bugs. After it dried, many of them were warped and couldn't be used. In the end, we used cardboard ones to replace the bamboo.
I have 3 children, including me, that's 4 people. I want them to develop the habit of saving money to help others. Tzu Chi continues to do relief work around the world. I've seen the footage. I want to help this world too. If someone is in trouble, I want to contribute my money and strength.
Kedah Tzu Chi volunteer has loved and cared locally for the past 20 years. In the days ahead, they hope to inspire more compassionate hearts to join them.
Also, to celebrate Tzu Chi Chapter's 20th anniversary, Tzu Chi volunteers held a sign language musical performance. The event was attended by more than 1,900 people who witnessed how the chapter has been spreading love and compassion for the past 20 years.
To celebrate Tzu Chi Chapter's 20th anniversary, the volunteers are putting on a sign language musical performance.
Jingsa Hall's lecture hall is filled with people. We can say that for the countless future 20 years, we can do a better job in spreading the Master's Dharma teachings.
I've heard the vows unwavering for eons of time. This phrase is short, but its meaning is deep. Regardless of the obstacle we face, we cannot give up on benefiting the public.
Besides community residents, some teachers have brought their students here.
I especially brought the students here to feel the love of Tzu Chi volunteers. We will bring the love back to our school.
I am moved by their compassion. Now that I'm here today, I'll fill out a form and donate what I can.
Regardless of ethnicities or nationalities, everyone is willing to help out. During the process, we share the joy. It is the feeling that everyone is happy.
The volunteers have in fact gone into the communities to invite the nearly 2,000 people in the audience 1 month ago.
Since Kedah produces rice, we spread the Buddhist teachings in the way we cultivate land. We are reminded to cultivate more blessings and create good affinities.
After 20 years of hard work, the Tzu Chi volunteers will continue to spread love and compassion in Kedah, reaching out to those in need.
Tzu Chi Malacca chapter expands its Happy Campus program from cities to remote areas in Malaysia. Most of the students of the Chinese elementary school and Tamil elementary school in the suburban regions come from single-parent or low-income families. Therefore, their parents usually cannot afford to buy new school clothes and shoes for them. To help with the students' education, Tzu Chi volunteers recently headed to these schools to distribute school supplies. Let's take a look.
These students with poor vision have no money to buy a pair of glasses. Tzu Chi volunteers have decided to help.
I can see that the students from this Tamil elementary school need help. They need assistance and resources because most of their parents work at a rubber tree garden. They don't have a high income.
I feel happy because I finally have a pair of glasses to wear and I can see clearly.
I felt happy because I get a new spectacle.
Implementing the Happy Campus program, Malacca Tzu Chi volunteers head to the suburbs to distribute new school uniforms, school shoes, and glasses to 50 students from Tamil and Chinese elementary schools.
If the volunteers did not give us the new ones, I'd wear the old ones.
Saya akan pakai kasut baru.
I would like to say thanks to Tzu Chi for this wonderful program today. You have given uniforms, shoes, spectacles, food and everything. I see all the children very happy.
To help those in need, the students also carry out the acts of giving after adopting a coin bank.
I will save a little money each day and then donate them to the underprivileged people.
I need to give more love so that I can help those in need. Helping others makes me happy.
The Happy Campus program not only helps the students continue their education, but it also gives them hope in the future.
Durban City volunteers recently traveled from South Africa to Namibia to care for local disadvantaged families. They not only accompany Namibian volunteers to conduct home visitations and deliver rice to the care recipients, but they also share with local volunteers their commitment to Tzu Chi's global missions, to encourage them to shoulder their responsibility to help those in need. Let's join them there.
Over to Jerusalem. We are marching over to Jerusalem.
Respecting each family they visit, the volunteers greet them with their singing. The volunteers thank the residents who suffer from illnesses for accepting Tzu Chi's assistance. With the company of Durban Tzu Chi volunteers, the local volunteers in Namibia go door to door to distribute rice.
We are marching over to Jerusalem.
Under the heat, the volunteers walk barefoot all the way into the community, with some of them carrying a child or holding an umbrella.
Doing my housework.
The volunteers from Durban share their past experiences of being refused or questioned for joining Tzu Chi.
Once we clean our hearts, then we'll see the way. See this organization, what is this organization for? In fact, this organization is for let the people stay in peace, love each other as brothers and sisters.
Durban volunteers also accompany Namibian volunteers to visit the parliament to encourage everyone to do more to help Namibia.
So it is up to you to try to make sure that, okay, we accept this help, and then we are going to work for our community. We're going to love our community. Because if you do not do that, then how Tzu Chi can be able to help us?
In addition to sharing with everyone their commitments to Tzu Chi missions, Durban volunteers also encourage them to purify their hearts so that they can live with full spiritual support.
Jordan City volunteers have continued to care for the refugee families in Amman and Remtha. They recently conducted a regular visit to these families and distribute daily supplies and subsidies. In addition, the volunteers also provided medical assistance for the much-needed ill children. Here's more.
30-year-old Mahmoud, whose left hand is in a plaster cast, is lying on the sickbed for examination. He injured his palm in an accident 5 months ago. Although he has gone through a surgery, he does not see any improvement. Tzu Chi assists him in completing the second surgery.
He have a fracture from about 4 months, and this fracture non-healed, and now we do the operation. We're taking a graft from his iliac and put it here in the site of fracture.
Jordan Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for Syrian refugees for over 4 years. They deliver subsidies and daily supplies to 50 refugee families in Ramthan each month, moving off the refugees.
Thanks, Tzu Chi, for giving us this much supplies. Every time Tzu Chi helps us, it makes me feel that the war does not isolate us, or does it separate us from the world. We are just like one family.
The volunteers' love will continue to spread as they also bring daily supplies to the Bedouin care recipients in Wadi Fayyan of southern Jordan.
In Xiamen, Fujian of China, there's a 50-year-old man who once worked as the deputy director of an organization. After the organization closed down, he began to sell paintings for a living. However, due to his drinking habit and health problems, he eventually fell into despair and is unable to care for himself. Upon learning of his situation, Tzu Chi volunteers mobilized to help clean his house, encouraging him to face life's challenges.
There are miscellaneous items and garbage in this room. The owner is 50-year-old painter Mr. Lu. Due to his leg pain, he has been unable to paint or maintain his living environment.
With mobility problems, he cannot take baths, and therefore he has body odor. As we try to clean the kitchen, we found cockroaches and other stuff.
Tzu Chi volunteers and Mr. Lu's friend have come to clean his house, hoping he can recuperate in a comfortable living environment.
We can first treat his health problem before inspiring him to give of himself. Then his kind thoughts can be inspired.
In the past, Mr. Lu has had a good life, but then he attempted suicide 3 years ago due to despair. Afterwards, he has been troubled by leg pain. The volunteers hope to guide him to walk out of despair.
Life is like a lamp. We need to light up the lamp in our hearts. After doing so, this house will be brightened up.
Eventually, Mr. Lu has opened up a bit and accepted the invitation of the Tzu Chi volunteers.
Let's cross our fingers as if we are stamping. In October, when there's the Buddhist exhibition, please come to Jinsi Books and Cafe to help draw, okay?
With a clean living environment and the care of the volunteers, Mr. Lu can rest well and eventually start a new chapter of his life.
No matter rain or shine, Tzu Chi volunteers are always willing to help. Recently, 37 Tzu Chi volunteers went to New Taipei City's Xinzhuang district to help a solitary senior clean up his apartment. Meanwhile, the same compassionate heart of giving was shown to the Li family in Yilan's Yuanshan as the volunteers spent 2 weeks repairing, remodeling, and furnishing their home.
A home that's over 70 years old is getting a makeover. The kitchen is being repaved with cement and steel reinforcements, while ceilings, walls, and floors are being redone as well. This home used to leak whenever it rained, so the wires and pipes are redone too. Here in Yilan's Yuanshan Township, Tzu Chi volunteers spent 2 weeks to clean, repair, and furnish the Li family home. Just in time to face Typhoon Nasat without worry. Prior to the typhoon's arrival, Tzu Chi volunteers aren't affected by the impending weather, as they head to New Taipei City's Xinzhuang to help a solitary senior with cleaning.
The tenant has been here for 4 years and his wife passed away 2 years ago. His wife used to collect and sell recyclables, but it piled up and never got taken away. The bowlerhead couldn't stand him living like this, so he asked Tzu Chi for help.
Prepared with their gloves and masks, 37 people get to work.
We don't want him to live in such a condition, so we came to help him clean up.
Bag after bag, carton after carton, garbage and recyclables are relayed down from the 3rd floor. Even the sudden rain doesn't affect the volunteers' workflow.
This helps his health and public safety. I'm grateful Tzu Chi volunteers are here to assist. It's great to have you here.
After 3 hours of hard work, the home is clean once more, as Tzu Chi volunteers hope this senior can live in a more comfortable environment in the days ahead.
To prepare for the 2-day Tzu Chi camp for Tzu Shaos in Malaysia, the education teams from Taiwan and Malacca have continued to rehearse the teaching procedures and revise the teaching plans. They also take this chance to understand more about themselves and learn to be a better person. Let's take a look.
The volunteers of the education team from Malacca have remade the hourglasses and revised their lesson plans over and over again to prepare for the camp for Tzu Shaos.
As soon as I received the lesson plan, I kept watching the videos to learn how to communicate with the children. The most important thing is to bring the knowledge to them and ensure they can practice it when they return home.
The Tzu Chi education team from Taiwan came here to exchange teaching experiences. It is not easy for them to prepare lesson plans and teaching aids.
When we received the lesson plan in the beginning, we were guided to teach everything in the textbooks. All of us needed to understand it and absorb it. I felt a lot of pressure at that time because the date of the camp was approaching. This time I can see that everyone worked very hard to prepare for it.
In fact, this course is quite challenging as it requires many teaching aids and a lot of preparation. However, after we came here, we felt that the Malacca volunteers worked very hard to prepare the teaching aids, which is beyond our expectation. I think this is the best part.
Designing the course gives the volunteers a chance to understand more about themselves and learn to be a better person. After constantly rehearsals and discussion, the education volunteers have also learned to understand others.
We have already gotten used to teaching elementary school students, so mostly we focus on instructions. After rehearsals, we thought we needed to revise our teaching modes. We should integrate the teachings into high school students' lives.
I think we should understand what the youngsters are talking about and what they are playing to improve our communication with them.
The volunteers from these 2 countries have tried their best to prepare everything to make the course go smoothly.
In our next report, we meet 9-year-old Ten Yi-Ching from Penang, Malaysia, who is a student of Nabon Tabo Tzu Chi After School Center. As she has 6 siblings in her family, she loves showing off and fighting for first place. Her personality led her to have quarrels with others. After receiving the humanitarian education at the center, this young girl has changed to become a mature child and more considerate to her parents.
我叫陈怡君，今年9岁，就读9一春华小。
Tang Yijun grows up in a family with 6 siblings, so she usually wants to fight for first place.
Yijun is a child with great ambition, as she loves showing off. She's also very assertive, as she often guides other children.
As an ambitious child, Yijun often quarrels with her classmates. With the humanitarian education of the Tzu Chi After School Center, this young girl has changed.
Sometimes when we told Jing's efforts and stories at the study club, she felt like the stories were talking about her. She then became more introverted, as she worked very hard to change herself.
After I came to this after-school center, I have cultivated my moral characters and changed my personality and attitude.
Her parents also see her changes.
She has become more independent. She may organize her school bag and do homework on her own.
Yijun is usually the winner of singing and storytelling contests on campus. It is the honor as well as the source of pressure.
On that day when she came here, she looked unhappy. She sat there and cried. She kept telling me that she had a lot of pressure. I comforted her and told her, Yijun, I can see that you work very hard to win the contest. I encourage her in this way.
Learning in the environment which is full of love and care, this 9-year-old girl has been nurtured to grow strong and healthy, allowing her to bravely overcome any challenges she may face in her life.
In Malaysia, Tzu Chi volunteers in Malacca began their recycling mission in 1995 by collecting recyclables at night. Over the past 22 years, they have been walking into different communities to promote environmental protection by practicing recycling themselves. Their acts and devotion have influenced many people. It not only helps to enhance their environmental awareness, but also helps to invite more people to join the ranks of recycling volunteers.
This is our neighbor, and she is from a Malay family. She collects the recyclables for us.
Regardless of different races, doing recycling has become part of their life.
I collect recyclables by myself, and then I ask volunteers to take them.
Sometimes the truck driver may come here to ask me about the recyclables, but I don't believe them. I think it is better to give them to Tzu Chi.
Since 1995, Malacca Tzu Chi volunteers began their recycling mission by collecting recyclables at night to promote environmental protection.
The environment and climate have changed dramatically, so I think it is very important to do recycling. As for those resources which can be sold, if we throw them away, it would be quite a pity.
We should put the act of recycling into practice to protect the planet.
Over the past 22 years, the volunteers have been going through the streets and alleys to collect recyclables, which also enhances the residents' environmental awareness.
We bring the resources back to do recycling. As long as we don't throw the resources away, we won't waste them. We turn the trash into gold.
I feel very happy to do these good deeds. I think it also helps to cultivate the spirit of giving.
When we practice recycling, some people may start to follow suit after they witness our actions.
Every household in its community practices recycling in their daily life. This not only helps to safeguard the planet, but it can also invite more people to do something meaningful.
In Perth, Australia, Tzu Chis have held a 3-day summer camp for college students. The camp includes a variety of events and lessons on cherishing resources, filial piety, and other topics. We'll leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for joining us. See you next week.